Living healthy doesn't really have a good PR. Let's just be honest. It's because they make it look like it's unattainable, it's boring, it's difficult. Whoever told us that did us really bad. Anyway, let's take a quick look at this quote from Statistics Canada. It says, Canadian youth daily smoking rates continuously declined from 26% in 2001 to 8% in 2019 for males, stay with me, and from 22% to 6% for females. However, obesity slightly increased from 9.6% to 11.8% for males and from 7% to 11.7% for females during the same period. I'll come back to this stat. As you know, for most young people, especially in your 20s, you don't really care about living healthy. You feel like you have all the time in the world. And it's not one of those things you want to bother with or even invest your time in. And that is why I'm making this video, because today we are going to be talking about ways in which you can actually invest in your health in your 20s without making it so complex. These are simple ways. Not very easy, but they can be easy. It all depends. But we're going to figure it out together in this video. Hello and welcome back, friends. And if you're just seeing this hot chocolate for the first time, hey, this is Tinola, and on this channel I share valuable content. I'm all about making you look your best, feel your best, and live your best life. So if that's your vibe, please consider subscribing to this channel to join this thriving family. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you some important changes I've made to become healthier even in my 20s. Now, you might be thinking, why should we care about being healthier in our 20s? Well, the signs are all around us and we can't deny that. Ranging from the foods we eat to our mental health, to infertility rates and all sorts of diseases affecting women even in their 20s. The signs are there, the stats are there, and we can't deny all of that. The stats I read at the beginning of this video is just one in so many others. And that is a simple explanation for the changes that we can actually make when we promote our health more. Chronic smoking amongst young people has reduced over the years, especially here in Canada. And that is because of the awareness, that is because of the education around smoking. But smoking is just one thing that affects our health. There are so many other things that affect our health, like the diets we eat, and that is why you see that the rate of obesity has increased. The question is, what is contributing to that? Of course, we know that our diet is a huge one. Sedentary lifestyle is another factor. And even though we have awareness around these things, young people still don't care enough about making changes based on those information. Because things like obesity has to do more with a lifestyle change. So I'm going to classify the changes I made into 3 different categories in which I'm being more intentional about living healthier even in my 20s. The first is diet, the second is daily habits, and the third is relationships. Diet, as we know, does not only affect our waistline or our immunity, but it also affects our mental well-being. And when it comes to living healthier, I like to approach it from a holistic point of view. An important change I had to make to my diet was consuming more homemade meals than eating out. Eating out doesn't really have much consequences on your budget as much as it has on your health. So instead of buying snacks that has all sorts of additives and harmful substance in them, I'd rather make my food fresh from home, because that way I'm able to get more nutritional value for my money, and I'm able to feed my body with the right nutrients it needs to function optimally. The truth is, no one has a cooking disability. It's just a matter of choice. A lot of young people don't like cooking because it's time consuming, it's not fun for some people, and men will always give the excuse of they don't know how to cook, which is not true. Anybody can know how to cook, if only you care enough to learn. I personally never liked cooking, but when I understood the importance of eating healthy, and especially eating homemade meals, it made me want to make my meals more. And what I do to make it easier is meal prepping, cooking mainly like when I feel like cooking, and cooking recipes that are simple and fast. There are so many cooking tutorials out there, and I'm pretty sure you'll find 1 or 2 that resonates with you, and some recipes that bang, that you really, really love to make at home for yourself. We don't live to eat, but we eat to live. This is one quote I learned years back. So pay attention to how your body reacts to different food and study what works for you and what doesn't. For example, if I take a big plate of jollof rice in the afternoon, I'm definitely going to nap because I fall asleep when I take a lot of carb. And this is something that is actually very common. A lot of people go through it. There's a particular name for it. And when you understand that this is how your body works, of course, you want to avoid taking a lot of carbs on your lunch break at work, because it wouldn't help you to be efficient after your lunch break, because that is the exact time I'm ready to sleep. Same thing for people that are lactose intolerant, that can't take dairy. They can't get their eyes off the ice cream, even though they know it's not good for them, because they'll start using the toilet while they're at work. It's very embarrassing. Paying attention to your food triggers will help you to consult a professional on why those things happen to you, because there might be an underlying cause you need to find out, and some things you can't fix them, so you just have to avoid them. Okay, the next is daily habits. Sedentary lifestyle can lead to several health issues like obesity, like diabetes. Obviously, we don't want those things, and what we can do instead is to incorporate exercise into our routine. How we can do that is by taking daily walk. If you don't want to go to the gym, if you don't like going to the gym, it's fine. You only have to take like 30 minutes walk a day. That's more than enough, honestly. If you do that about 4 days a week, you're good. Sleep is another daily habit that we often overlook as young people, because we feel like we have all the energy. All I need to do is to take a cup of coffee in the morning. Give your body that rest. Don't wait for your body to knock you down and tell you you need to go to bed before you go to bed. One thing that distracts us a lot is obviously our phones, our devices, and that is why we need to cultivate healthy habits around our sleep time by avoiding spending too much time on social media when you're supposed to be in bed. Set a timer for your social media visit. Also, avoid having screens in your room. Your bedroom is supposed to be a bedroom just for sleeping. It's not for you to have a TV and 2 laptops in your bedroom. It's unnecessary, except if you live with someone else and you just need that privacy in your room, because all those things affect your sleep pattern. Also, if you have clothes around your bed and your room is completely disorganized, obviously it's going to affect your sleep as well. So instead of that, decluster your wardrobe, decluster your room. You don't need so much clusters around you and in your life. It's just going to cause you more confusion and more headache. The next daily habit, which is more like a monthly habit, is to put away a little sum of money to your emergency fund. So you want to have an emergency fund, especially if you live in a country that does not have health insurance. Now, we are lucky and blessed to have health insurance in Canada, even though in the true sense of things, we have some things to say about that, but at least we have free healthcare here. We don't have to pay so much to see a doctor here, which is good. So if you live in a country like that, that is quite reassuring, but it's always good to still have an emergency fund. If you don't live in a country like that, then you need a health insurance, either a private one or one from your workplace. Aside health insurance and free healthcare, it's always good to have a little bit of money you're putting aside for emergency health funds, because God forbid anything happen. Like, we cannot predict these things, and it's not about you wishing yourself bad. It's just being proactive about your health. So put away a little bit of money here and there for your health needs. You might want to do regular checkups. Especially as women, we should be doing checkups at least once in 2 years. Especially if you're a sexually active woman. You know what I'm talking about. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about. You should be doing your checkups, please. Don't even slack on that. Moving on to the next daily habit, which is reading labels. If you feel like reading labels is weird, then I bet to differ, because there is nothing wrong with you reading your labels. When you want to buy a new product, don't just buy products because it's from a celebrity brand or it's a new product brand with nice packaging. Learn to read the ingredient list. It will save you so much more in the long run. That way you know the value of what you're getting, if it's worth your money or not. A product might claim it's natural and it does this and that, but in the true sense, when you check the ingredient list, then you realize that there are so many other toxic substances that you don't want in your products, in that product, and even the main ingredient that was used to promote the products, let's say vitamin C, in your skincare product, it's like the second to the last on the list. Check your labels, guys. It's non-negotiable, especially if you're just using that product for the first time. Once you get used to checking your labels, you'll realize it doesn't take that much time. If a brand works for me, it's valuable and it's within my budget, I don't have any reason to change it. until I have one. So most of the time, I'm familiar with the products I get. That way, I don't have to check the labels every single time. And the last category is your relationships. Of course, we know that the group of people we have around us rub on us, and they affect us in all areas of our lives, physically, mentally, financially, emotionally. Oh my gosh, we are a reflection of our relationships. In your 20s, one of the things you have to fight a lot is influence from other people, your friends most especially. For more, having a fear of missing out, feeling like you don't want to be the odd one out. So you tend to want to please people by doing things that displease you and things that are not very healthy for you. Bad habits like smoking, doing drugs, chronic drinking, splurging money on things you don't care about just because you're trying to prove yourself to a group of people. All those things affect our mental health negatively. They are worrying around our self-esteem, how we view ourselves, our boundaries, and I've talked about self-care boundaries in some of my other videos, which you guys can check out after this video. It's always good to know your limit and be able to confidently communicate that. And I know that comes with practice, but you have to practice it to master it, because if you don't, you'll continue to have those poor boundaries, toxic relationships that will continuously affect you negatively. So understand your limits and your values and learn to communicate it. Honestly, not everything is for everyone. There are certain things that you don't have to experiment or try before you understand that it's not good for you. For example, nobody has to tell me that heroin is not good for me before I know that. Now, do I need to try heroin before I know that? Of course not. In your friendship groups, it's all about quality over quantity. I know you want to have so many friends and feel like you are, how do they put it? The life of the party. Everybody loves me. Not everybody's going to love you. It's okay to accept that. Understanding your value and being confident in what is my will locates me is a very important attribute we need in our lives. Anyway, I don't want to keep this video too long and I don't want to sound like your mommy. So I just thought to share with you some of the changes I'm making to become healthier in my 20s. Let me know if any one of these resonates with you and leave a comment down below in the comment box. Also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Well, I'll see you in the next one, but until then, keep shining. Bye guys. Bye.